و اگر آمریکا به وظیفه خود عمل نکند مسئولیت مستقیم و اخلاقی در قبال عواقب آن دارد.
You know, we're very frustrated, particularly speaking on behalf of my American colleagues, many of whom are not here. We are extremely frustrated with our government. We love our country, we respect our government, but we are extremely frustrated with the delay, the silence, and the facilitation that our government currently is causing with respect to the imminent harm threatening the 3,400 residents of Camp Ashraf, and more importantly, the suppression impact that it has on the forces of freedom for Iran. We have talked about this for months, in some cases years. We have urged our President and our Secretary of State to act in conformance both with the law and the facts, and to delist this organization, the MEK, from the Foreign Terrorist Organization list, a designation that they should have never made in the first place in 1997, 14 years ago. They are in contempt of a federal court in Washington, D.C., which ordered 14 months ago that the Secretary show cause or describe the sources upon which the State Department relies to continue this designation. And as I said last week, we've heard nothing but silence and delay from the Secretary of State. We urge our President, we urge our Secretary to decide this issue immediately and fairly and in accordance with the law and the facts, and to immediately delist this organization without any regard. Because as someone said earlier, it's not just the passivity of listing and not acting, it's the facilitation and the invitation, and as Governor Ridge said, the license to kill that this provides to both the elements of the Iraqi government that are under the control of the regime in Tehran, and the license to kill members of this organization, using the kangaroo courts of Iran to arrest, torture, and murder anyone who whispers support not just for this organization but for freedom and liberty. So the listing is a very critical and very dangerous aspect that has to be undone, and that the President of the United States and our Secretary have a moral obligation and a duty to protect, and that obligation needs to be enforced and honored. And if it's not, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear, I mean, I can predict you're going to hear, not just from my American colleagues here today, but many others on both sides of the political spectrum, that the obligation here by the United States, which is what our agenda is about here in part today, if that is not met, the United States will have direct moral responsibility for those results.
اون فرمانده قبلی حفاظت اشرف، سرهنگ مارتین، گفت که هیچ چیزی تنفرانگیزتر از شکستن موافقتنامه و زیر پا گذاشتن قول نیست. مگه بند 10 توافقنامه و قرارداد با اشرف نمیگوید که قرارداد پابرجاست مگر اینکه طرفین روی تغییرش توافق کنند؟ پس چرا نقض میکنید؟ و پرسید که وا عجبا، ما مزدوران موسوم به بدر رو در لیست وزارت خارجه‌مون نمیبینیم که اصلا خمینی تأسیس کرده. الان هم حاجی آمریش بر دستهای ولی فقیه ارتجاع بوسه میزنه، اما نام مجاهدین رو هنوز در لیست میبینیم. بنابراین گذاشتن و نگه داشتن مجاهدین در لیست جنایت علیه دموکراسی است.
And as a soldier of the United States military sworn to support and defend that document, I find that personally appalling, and I hope you do too. It's time for somebody in the administration to stand up and stop ignoring the Ashraf situation. Mr. President, we're at your front door. Failure to do the harder right and correct a long-term wrong is a disgrace to democracy and will ensure the annihilation of 3,400 soldiers for freedom.